do this. We can't do that. I can't call him. I can't depend on him. The doctor's office called this morning and canceled my appointment. Oh, no. What if it's an emergency? How am I going to survive it? So thinking of that and going, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that's happened is that I get to the hospital and I can't get in. The worst thing is the doctor never calls me back. But he's going to call me back because I'm going to schedule to call him. So I convert it into something that will be an action instead of focusing on the thing that's hurting me or making me worry. And then when I go to bed at night, I do a review. And I think of all the great things that happened during the day, even the smallest ones, like I lost my water bottle. And then I found it. So now I can have my water, just exactly the amount that I know my body needs, which I had already decided. So I'm grateful for that. That allows me to go to sleep in peace. So it's kind of a day by day, one day by one day. And I could tell you a story about something that brings a lot of different pieces in. Would that be okay?
Yes, Naomi, we would love that.
Well, I've been mountain climbing. I started at age 61 to follow my husband on 8 mountains in 8 months. And I believe that would be all I would do. Well, that's not true. I actually have done 100 climbs, but on mountain 54, I was hiking and we were off a 3-day backpack. We were on our way home. We're in the sandy area, which is hardly anything in the way. And all of a sudden, I fall flat on my face. And as I'm attempting to come to figure out what happened, I feel something push on my head. And I had the idea that somebody was putting a helmet on my head. And I'm going, what? I can't have a helmet. I have a baseball cap. I can't wear a helmet. And I'm arguing with the feeling. And then I wake up and I had been knocked unconscious because my heart stopped. Now, as a heart patient, that's not a very good idea.
Wow.
So nothing was broken. My backpack actually was probably what was pressing on me and saved my head from more injury. But I was bleeding profusely from the head. So I still have 5 miles to go. My husband catches up with me. We figure it out. I clean it all up. And now I've got to walk up the mountain 5 miles. Now, if I hadn't trained my body for the last 53 hiking, I wouldn't know how to listen to my body. So in the next 5 miles, I listened and I kept stopping on the trail because I trained my body to walk 50 minutes and then rest.
Yeah.
So what could you train your body to do that would allow it to go forward? I knew I needed the rest. So if I feel I need the rest, why don't I allow myself 10 minutes rest? Then get up and walk another 50 minutes. So it took me 5 hours, a mile an hour to get off the mountain. And then it was an 8-hour drive to the doctor's because we were in the middle of nowhere. So that training came into play in the crisis. I was on my very first mountains ever that I was in such low strength and energy, but I had decided I was climbing to the top of that mountain. So another idea is in the short term, I took 100 steps and I rested for 30 seconds. So what would that be like if you really were paralyzed or you really couldn't move very much at a time? Wouldn't it be okay if you accept where you're at and just do those 100 steps? Maybe everyone else is passing you on the road. Maybe everyone else got the toilet paper before you did. Maybe all the negative things could come against you. But if you knew in 100 steps you'd find what you need, wouldn't you be able to just do those 100 steps? So it's the training that I'd done in my body and in my mind that allowed me to get off that mountain.
Amazing.
Now, the doctors in the emergency treated me. I had relationships with other people like chiropractors and acupuncture. So those were numerous kind of doctors, but I needed a second opinion because your heart stopping is quite serious.
Yes.
So I went to a second doctor to hear what ways he would treat me and what would he recommend. And I ended up getting a machine on my chest right now inside that measures my heart every day, all day long, and gives a report to the doctors. So I had to do an extreme piece of having surgery, but it was part of my resources. I have a great husband. I already had a healthy body. So what if your body wasn't healthy? What are the steps you could do towards a small step, consistently getting a little more healthy each and every day? And you're a great example of that, Lorraine, that everything you do is on purpose. You're intentional about your body and your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tip. The resources that I already had in place or that I needed to look for, like the second opinion, the training that I had done by listening to my body in the past and then realizing I could use that training to get off the mountain. And then the focus. Focus on whatever it is you need to solve. I need to focus on getting off that mountain. I need to focus on small steps first. If I would have run off the mountain, you can be sure I would have fallen a number of times. That can focus on the consistent behavior over time is what got me home safe.
Right.
Now, granted, when I got to the car and sat down and we went to the next place to get some food, I could hardly walk.
Right.
So I had to be escorted into the store to get that hamburger and ice cream or whatever we had. I don't remember exactly, but I needed help. So I had to ask for help.
Right. Right.
So those are some of the tips that you can look at for yourself. Whatever resources you have in place, add some. Whatever training you have, look for more. And then focus only on one thing at a time.
Right. 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 Those are amazing tips, Naomi. In fact, I wrote a whole bunch of those down. I loved your little example of 100 steps and then take 30 seconds to rest. And I would also say that the focus and training the brain. We can train the brain. So if you are going through some hardships today, you can actually train the brain. It's not tricking the brain. It's just saying, I'm going to get up and I'm going to be in action today. Then I also love the idea of focus. And the reason I like especially the 100 steps is sometimes we compare ourselves to others and we think, oh, they've gone through this and they've come out the other side and they're just amazing. But what you need to do is focus on your next step. And Naomi, you said that all beautifully. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I'd like you to tell me how you wake up in the morning. Do you wake up with passion in the morning? Give us an idea how Naomi wakes up, because you sound like you wake up on fire in the morning.
I do, but I do have to also admit, so I'll tell you how I used to always wake up until February of this year. I used to always wake up with great passion. But in February, I got diagnosed with a sleeping disorder, and they put me on a sleep apnea machine. And that's because my heart was working too hard. And if I didn't go on the sleep apnea machine and reduce my stop breathing times per hour, then I would basically be, making myself die. So I agreed to go on it, but it's been a struggle. This is the end of my second month, and I finally, my numbers are really good. I'm actually breathing. Everyone in the world, every human, stops breathing about 5 times per hour. It's just part of the process. I was stopping to breathe 16 times an hour. Wow. Now I'm below 1. I'm 0.1, 0.4, 0.5. But it's been a struggle to put a mask on every single night and then sleep with it for at least 6 hours. And the moisture and the way it feels and the way it pulls on you and all those kind of things. I was actually waking up really groggy for quite a while.
Right.
In the last month or so, my moisture's gotten better. I had another talk with my sleep doctor, and now I feel like I'm waking up on fire again. But it was a process, about 60 days time, when sometimes I was okay and sometimes I wasn't. And that's a little discouraging. And that's why I say, just like you, sometimes I worry about tomorrow putting that mask on every night, but I really believe it's a lifesaver. So taking the resource that's been given to me, training my body to use it, and then focusing on just one night at a time. I wake up at 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30. I'm bouncing out of bed. I'm really opening my windows, getting the light on my face, getting all natural ways of being so that I can face the world. And the world I face is a little bit different because right now we have a family from Bangladesh living with us that came over on a medical visa in February, and their flights just got canceled yesterday. So a lovely mother and her daughter are living with us, and this is the third month, and it's unexpected, right? So it's not a virus. They're not the problem. But it is a completely different world, a language I don't speak, food I don't eat. All those kind of adjustments is I'm using all my tools, my resources,
Right.
my training, and my focus to figure out how to wake up, right?
Yeah. What I love about that is I see you living every day and not going too far ahead. So you take one step at a time. So you have to wear this mask. You take one step at a time, and you always have an attitude of gratitude, which is like amazing. So it's not always easy, but you are learning every day. And I love that. You adjust as you need to adjust. And so that's wonderful with that family. And we want to hear more about that. But for this show, we're almost out of time. And I want you to tell our audience how they can contact you and also let them know about your generous gift, Naomi. And I'm so thrilled you're coming back because we want to get into your other story, which is I'm just trying to whet their appetite out there. So tell us how they can get a hold of you.
Okay, so thank you so much. And I would invite you to go on the internet to thebraveheartshift.com. Thebraveheartshift.com is facing forward, getting compassion, getting passion, and turning towards that thing you always wanted to do. So thebraveheartshift.com. And I would like to offer you a superhero health quiz so you can analyze your own health, where you are today, what things you might discover you want to improve, or what things you can give yourself congratulations for because you're already doing it, and then resources for you as well. So you would type into the internet thebraveheartshift.com/superhero health quiz. That's my gift to you today.
Beautiful. Thank you, Naomi. What a generous and kind gift. And I love the name because this is how I think of you, Brave Heart. How beautiful is that? And next week, Naomi is coming back, and she's entitled it, Always Outwit Every Opportunity. So I am so glad you were here. Remember out there, it is never too late. It's never too late to lose weight, to follow your dreams, to have a brave heart, to take the next step. It is never too late. We will see you back here next week with Naomi. Thank you, Naomi, and talk to you next week.
Great. Bye.
Bye.